So next up we have State Representative Lindsay Sabadosa.
Yes.
Representative Sabadosa represents the 1st Hampshire District and is a tireless advocate for reproductive health care, gender equity, and maternal health care.
All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, so I want to share something with you today that anytime anyone asks you about the November election, when they say, ugh, the candidates, ugh, I don't like anybody, because I hear a lot of that. Are you hearing a lot of that? Yes. So what you need to tell them is the Supreme Court is on the ballot.
Yes.
So that's your response. The Supreme Court is on the ballot. Say it with me. The Supreme Court is on the ballot. And everybody needs to understand that, because if we look at what the court decided this week, they actually made some good decisions, right? They pushed back against they made some bad decisions too, don't get me wrong. But we're going to focus on the positive for a second. All right. But they took a case out of Texas where they wanted to give guns back to a man who had been abusing multiple girlfriends, who had been shooting them off in public every time he got angry. And they wanted the court to say that the Second Amendment superseded the government's right to take away guns from domestic abusers. Now, this is depressing, I agree. But the court actually said, no, the state does have the right to do that. That's a good decision. But this is why I'm saying the Supreme Court is on the ballot, because we have Justice Thomas and Justice Alito, who, if that former president wins the election, are going to retire. And those justices in the Fifth Circuit who said, sure, you beat up your girlfriend here, have a machine gun, they're going to be the next members of the Supreme Court. And then the decisions that were made, the good ones, those are going to go away too. So when we're talking about November, we need to think the Supreme Court is on the ballot. Who serves on that court matters. And for way too long, we have just viewed it as not political, as something we don't really control, but we've been proven wrong. That is a political body. It is a body that makes decisions that affect our bodies, and we need people on that court that are going to respect the Constitution. So in November, we have to get out and vote. And I know it gets old to say this is the most important election of your lifetime. We've said it over and over and over, but it just keeps getting truer and truer. Because the next president will fill those seats on the court. The next president will then fill the seats on the circuit courts and on the district courts. And the next president could create 40 years of really bad laws without Congress, or they could create really, really good Constitution respecting ones. And so we need to be out there. We need to get people excited. We're all excited, right? Okay. A little quiet this morning. I know it's hot and muggy, but we need to be a little more excited. There we go. And we need to remind people to vote. So I want to finish with something just positive, because that was all a little depressing. So this week, the Massachusetts House took up a bill on maternal health care. Thank you. I was very excited. Now, maternal health care, part of maternal health care are abortion rights. And we need to recognize that it is a full spectrum, right? Birth, abortion, reproductive loss, all of it is part of that spectrum. All of it is natural, and all of it needs to be protected. And so this week we took up a maternal health care bill that allows for midwives to do out-of-hospital births, because you should get to decide how you want to have a baby. We supported freestanding birth centers like Seven Sisters up in Florence, so that more of those can happen in the state. We supported lactation consultants for the first time. We supported pregnancy loss awareness to let people know that 1 in 4 pregnancies end in pregnancy loss. It is very natural, and we need to make sure that no one feels stigmatized. And my favorite piece, because it was mine, we established the ability to take leave to take earned sick time if you are suffering pregnancy loss. And we define that both as miscarriage, failed IVF, and failed adoption, because we know that families are made in lots and lots of ways, and we want to respect all of them. So it's a good week. But we need to make it a good month and a good rest of the year. So if someone tells you, ugh, I don't want to vote in November, what are you going to tell them? The Supreme Court is on the ballot. Thank you for being here, and thank you for keeping up the fight.